Is KGW News at 4.
Well, the winter weather is here. Many areas in Portland dealing with a couple inches of snow, causing some issues in the familiar trouble spots like Highway 26. Things are also dicey for drivers out in East Multnomah County with big wind gusts making it hard to see. And there's another storm on the way tonight, packing more freezing rain, snow and ice. We have crews keeping track of conditions across the area. Let's start off with Chief Meteorologist Matt Zaffino. Matt, what can we expect through tonight and into the weekend?
Yeah, it's going to get worse overnight tonight, Kristen. This next storm that's coming in has really already began, so we're going to see the precipitation, all types, ramp up as we go through the evening hours. And look at this picture. This is our Wells Fargo Skycam. Kind of tells a story. The lens is just coated in ice right now. It's 26 degrees out of the Portland airport. Downtown Portland right now is 24. We are actually colder downtown than it is at 6,000 feet at Timberline Lodge. And therein lies part of the problem, because we've got that warm layer aloft, and that's how you end up getting freezing rain, which we are seeing plenty of around the Willamette Valley right now. There's a lot more precipitation to come on shore. Look at this big cloud band here. This is a strong storm, juiced up with a lot of moisture from the Pacific, and that's what's rolling in right now. We're really just on the leading edge of this, so we'll see all types of precipitation, the snow, the sleet, the freezing rain, all increase as we go through the nighttime hours, and therein lies the problem, because it won't be warming up enough to turn it to rain. That's not happening. So Doppler radar is pretty interesting, because you see where we see this pink line, the purplish line, that's where we transition from all snow to a mix of snow or sleet and freezing rain. And it's right over the Portland area. I mean, look, literally right along the West Hills boundary, and then we get a mix to the south, but it's mainly snow to the north and east of there. Downtown right now, I can tell you, we've been seeing a mix of snow and freezing rain as well. So even close to downtown, we're getting that mix of ice with snow, which isn't great. You want to see it be all snow, far less dangerous than getting freezing rain. So look at this. This is the watch and warning map. We have an ice storm warning out for the mid-Willamette Valley, including much of Yamhill County, parts of Clackamas County, and Marion County. And already we've had reports of as much as half an inch of ice in Almsville, with many trees down, power lines down. There's power outages also in many parts of Marion County right now because of the ice. Ice is heavy. It brings things down, and that's only going to be increasing as we go into the nighttime hours where the freezing rain is. In fact, I think that freezing rain area may slide a little bit north tonight and then begin to back down to the south again during the day tomorrow. Much of Oregon is under some kind of a winter weather warning or advisory, over to northeast Oregon as well. So here's how I see it going down overnight tonight and tomorrow. From the West Hills north and east, we'll see a lot of snow, 3 to 8 inches of snow overnight tonight into tomorrow, and as much as a half an inch of ice even there. 1/10 of an inch more likely, I think, but some places may see as much as a half an inch of ice. Now, as you get south of Portland, especially down towards Tigard, even Lake Oswego, but Clackamas, Wilsonville, and Point South, that's where we're going to see heavy icing, as much as an inch all told, half an inch to an inch of ice. And of course, that does damage. And then for the north coast, we might even get some ice up around, say, Seaside northward, as much as a quarter to a half an inch of ice. The gorge will continue with the heavy snow and the strong winds. But that's really the least of our problems. It's that ice in the mid-valley, Kristen, that is the most concerning.
Absolutely. Okay, thanks, Matt. I know we'll be checking back in several times with you. You know, the storm is having a huge impact on efforts to get people who qualify the COVID vaccine. Mass vaccination sites had to close, forcing the rescheduling of thousands of people. Pat Doris is keeping track of all of that. And Pat, they really had no choice but to close, right?
Right, Kristen, and it was obviously the right call. They just decided the roads were just too nasty, too crazy to ask people to come in to get their shots. And because of that, the vaccination events at the Clark County Fairgrounds, scheduled for tomorrow, is also canceled. It is rescheduled for Tuesday the 16th from 9 a.m. until noon. And the OHSU drive-through vaccination clinic at the Portland Airport's Red Lot, that's canceled both Saturday and Sunday. They'll contact you to reschedule. And all vaccinations scheduled at the Oregon Convention Center on Saturday are now canceled. They will contact folks to reschedule that as well. And they're still not sure about Sunday. They'll make that decision tomorrow afternoon. All of that has left some of you wondering and asking us, is there going to be vaccine that goes to waste because of these cancellations?
We don't actually start the preparation for the vaccines until the morning of the vaccination clinic. So the vaccines are in a deep freeze, and they have about a 30 to 45 minute thawing process that they go through.
The greater Portland area is also getting more vaccine doses delivered next week. It's going to total about 18,000 doses, a third reserved for seniors, another third for educators, and another third from people from the 1A group. I've also confirmed that there'll be more appointments that'll be opened up on Monday at 9 a.m. for all groups that are qualified currently and for the 75-year-olds. And then there'll be another set of appointments that will open up this next Thursday, also at 9 in the morning. Kristen.
Pat, I know that, we've been doing so many vaccine stories. You've really been leading the coverage on this. So next week, people 75 and over are eligible to start signing up for these vaccinations. So will these cancellations delay those appointments?
Probably not. I mean, they certainly will not delay the opening of the appointment so people can go in and get those at 9 a.m. on Monday. All the cancellations, it's about 6,000 from the convention center and another 6,000 out at the airport. Those people will be pushed back later into next week, so it might kind of gum things up for a day or two, but it won't significantly delay them. Also, I wanted to let you know, I just learned this afternoon that Albertsons and Safeway's pharmacies now say in Oregon and Southwest Washington that each pharmacy has about 100 doses of the vaccine, and they're about to start putting those up on their websites if they haven't already. There'll be calendars you can go to. You need to go to the national site, albertsons.com or safeway.com, and then work through the states to be able to get an appointment. You could also, if you're in, this is going to be great for seniors, just pick up the phone and call your local pharmacy, ask if they have an appointment that you can get. Kristen?
So much easier to call. Thank you so much, Pat.
And of course, one of the signatures of any winter storm here in the Northwest and in Portland is a strong east wind, and this one's no exception. It's really been whipping through eastern Multnomah County all day with gusts up and over 60 miles an hour.
Wow, that video behind me. Yeah, our crews drove up to Corbet around 9 this morning. Parts were bare, others completely covered. Now, this was going up. I can't imagine the trip down this steep hill. Once up top, the wind was extremely strong. You can see the video at times. You can hardly see the road through the blowing snow. Even so, some people didn't seem very fazed by it.
It's just another day at the foundry up here in Corbett. It's just the way it is. I think we have 3 seasons here: wind, and ice. And that's pretty much it.
So Chip says this isn't as bad as it gets, and that's good because as we've been saying, as you've heard Matt say, there's more coming tonight.
All right, let's take a look at the roads in Multnomah County. Mike Benner is out in Drive 8. Mike, what are you seeing?
Hey there, little technical difficulties here in a car, but that's what you get when you're doing a live shot in a moving vehicle. Mike Benner here, though. We are on I-5 heading northbound right now. Let's take a live look out of the camera mounted on our windshield here. Again, this is I-5 northbound, and we are approaching the Taylor's Ferry exit of I-5. You can see that there is some snow on the interstate as we cruise northbound. We know that ODOT is out and about today. From speaking with one of their spokespeople in the last 24 hours, they have about 200 people, maintenance workers, operating on different shifts, 12-hour shifts, if you will, trying to clear these roads as best they can. Some of the trouble spots that we have seen today have been the Highway 26, the Sunset around the Vista Ridge Tunnel. That, of course, always a hot spot. So they're working that area, trying to keep people, on the road and safe. But again, this is I-5 northbound. Now we're approaching the Terwilliger curves. We're going to be out on the road all night, kind of checking on things, keeping an eye on the situation. So we'll touch base again in 20, 30 minutes and let you know where we're at. We might get off and head southbound on I-5 and check conditions that way, though. And we're having some more technical difficulties, so Kristen, I'll send it back to you.
All right, thanks, Mike. Be safe.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Mike. And be careful as you head south because there's more icing down there. This was the day that many businesses in the metro area were supposed to reopen for indoor dining with the easing of COVID restrictions. The winter storm has put a bit of a crimp in that plan.
Right. These businesses can't catch a break. Joe Ranieri is live in Beaverton. Joe, it could have been a big weekend.
Yeah, and they're still hoping it is going to be a big weekend. And Kristen and Matt, businesses have been trying to rechange their they're planned for almost a year now, and they're not going to let a little bit of some snow, freezing rain derail that, especially heading into Valentine's Day, which is on Sunday. Now, I spoke with a couple of different businesses who say they're determined to keep their doors open over the next couple of days. I spoke to the food and beverage director of Elephant's Deli. He told me they're planning on staying open for pickup orders. They had expected to be especially busy this weekend. Nicholas Dowdy is preparing about 200 special Valentine's Day orders. He says a lot of customers are calling.
We have a lot of people who've been in communication with different customers on the phone and via email and just saying, hey, we're going to be open. We're here for you.
Now, florists are also adjusting plans because of the weather. They're trying to keep up with deliveries, obviously. We're just 2 days away from Valentine's Day, and one florist I talked with earlier told me she made sure she got all of her deliveries done as soon as she could. Jerry Barr runs Bella Bloom Florals in Sherwood, and she typically does floral arrangements for weddings. Well, this was for the first year she decided to do Valentine's Day. She told me it was a pretty stressful morning, but her crew was able to get all the deliveries taken care of, actually earlier this morning. So with perishable items like food and flowers, the timing is critical for these businesses. And again, a lot of businesses I spoke with said they plan on working overtime to make sure they can keep their doors open for this weekend. Kristen, back to you.
All right, Joe, thank you. You know, unlike most snow days, there aren't too many trouble spots in Portland. That's because most people, thankfully, are just staying home.
Yeah, that's right. Kyle Aboshi is live in the Westmoreland-Sellwood area of southeast Portland. Kyle, I would imagine the skis, the sleds, anything you can slide on, they're all out in full force today.
Yeah, this part of town, this really had all the makings for a perfect snow day. You know, kids were already home. A lot of folks were not rushing into work as they normally would. So instead of the usual spin outs and fender benders on the roads, folks took it easy and they really just enjoyed the snow. Instead of the usual chaos caused by a little snow, most of Portland took it easy and stayed off the roads. For those who did have to drive, it was slow going, and that's a good thing. Others opted to leave the car at home and instead took the bus.
My car I just have a small car, so it's not equipped for the snow.
In the Westmoreland-Sellwood area of southeast Portland, many neighbors ventured out on foot. The packed snow made walking relatively easy.
Just walk carefully, just, don't rush, but it's pretty sticky, so it's not icy. Have the right shoes on that have some good grip, and just enjoy it.
A few people got a little more adventurous, like this guy.
It's my bicycle here.
Riding a bike in the snow. The special tires do help.
Got a little fat bike, it's got 4-inch wide tires, and snow's no problem.
But in these conditions, one of the best ways to get around was a sled. They were in high demand.
These guys were asking about sleds earlier, and so we knew that we had to come down before they sold out.
Luckily, Westmoreland Hardware saw the storm coming and stocked up.
We know all these people. We're a neighborhood store, so we know these people, and to see them with the kids out playing, it's a lot of fun.
As proof, you've just got to go down the street to Sellwood Park, where a snow-covered hill became the perfect spot to go sledding. All it took was a little encouragement.
Bye.
And this little guy was off. It's a fun ride that was repeated over and over on this snowy Portland day. A lot of shops and storefronts around here, they didn't even open today, didn't even bother, just too much snow. But some folks, they did pretty well. You saw the hardware store, they were incredibly busy. The grocery store down the street, and also coffee shops, they were slammed with folks just walking in, getting a cup of coffee.
All right, Kyle, thank you. I'm surprised you didn't jump on the sled, hopefully a little bit later on. And still to come, pharmacies are getting ready to give out vaccines. But even though shipments are arriving, appointments are not starting. So we'll talk to a few stores that say they still need a little bit of time to get ready. Then at 4:30, the defense makes its case in the impeachment trial of former President Trump, arguing his remarks before the Capitol siege are protected free speech.
COVID-19 variants. Stay connected. FM News 101, KXL.
It's time for the ultimate Sleep Number event on the Sleep Number 360 smart bed.
Can I help with snoring?
I've never heard snoring.
Exactly.
No problem. And done. And now save 50% on the Sleep Number 360 limited edition smart bed, plus free premium delivery when you add a base. Ends Monday.
Hello, my friend Pat Boone here for Safe Step Walk-In Tub. Listen, for years, one of my greatest pleasures has been relaxing in my walk-in tub. And I'm excited to tell you that Safe Step has actually found a way to take your bathing and showering experience to a whole new level with their new hybrid tub. It's the luxury and convenience of a shower and tub all in one package. The dual shower heads include a handheld shower wand and a large, luxurious rainfall shower head. Now you can finally enjoy the best of both worlds with the therapeutic benefits of a warm, soothing bath that can help increase mobility, relieve pain, boost energy, and improve sleep. Or, if you prefer, you can take a safe, refreshing shower all in one amazing product.
Call today and receive $1,500 off the purchase of your new Safe Step walk-in tub. Call 1-800-903-9006.
This is Charlie and his grandpa using Wave's high-speed internet service to chase dinosaurs. Fathom the possibilities. Now you can get high-speed internet from Wave starting as low as $19.95 a month. Imagine better with Wave. Click or call today.
Are your windows drafty, broken, or your energy bills on the rise? Champion is here to help. It's replacement window season, and we're celebrating with buy 2 windows, get 2 free. At Champion, we design new windows specific to your home's needs. Then they are built in our very own factory, installed by a team of professionals, and guaranteed for a lifetime by our best-in-class warranty. Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free. Call now or download our free buyer's guide at getchampionwindows.com.
Freshen your home with new appliances and save up to 40% throughout our entire store during the store-wide sale now at Standard TV and Appliance. Deals like this Maytag front-load laundry set now $24.98 or $139 a month, plus rebate and free detergent for a year. Or this Element chest freezer now just $279.97. Act fast because savings end soon. Standard TV and Appliance. Best service, best selection, best people.
Well, some local pharmacies are delaying COVID vaccinations a few days, but they say it's the right move. Galen Etlin follows up with a few, making some final arrangements.
Trushar Patel owns 5 pharmacies in Oregon.
There's a lot of moving parts to this, right?
4 are under the Health Mart franchise, one of the pharmacy groups in Oregon and Washington set to give COVID vaccinations.
Have you started receiving doses yet? Yeah, so we received our first shipment already.
This week, the federal government sent out 1 million doses to 6,500 pharmacies nationwide. Albertsons, Safeway, Costco, and Fred Meyer have websites for appointments, but most don't have any available. That's because vaccine supply is low. Many pharmacies only getting about 100 doses each right now. Pharmacies are trying to coordinate without much information, too, which is tricky.
In terms of the manufacturing, the distribution, the allocation.
And I know they will step up to this challenge.
Health Mart sent us this video message from its chief pharmacist, Nancy Lyons. She said 8 franchises spanning from Tillamook to Portland and down to Medford will start vaccinations likely next week.
To close the vaccination gap in these areas.
Health Mart originally planned to launch an online vaccination scheduling tool this week, but has seen the challenges play out for others.
It's going to crash, right? So essentially we want to make sure that everything is in place before it rolls out.
Patel says his pharmacy in Tillamook already has a waiting list of hundreds of people wanting the vaccine. Health Mart encourages Oregonians and Washingtonians to check back for scheduling next week and says appointments will ramp up once vaccine supply is greater. Galen Etlin, KGW News.
Well, as you know, so much of the Portland area woke up to snow this morning. And while it caused some issues for drivers, it's leading to some fun, too. In southeast Portland, people were making the most of the snow. They were excited for the weather, and we caught a family sledding outside.
Sledding has been super fun because we haven't sledded in a long time. We expected snow this Christmas. We thought it was going to snow, but it's snowing right now, so we use the time to sled, and it's super fun.
I think the sledding is fun because you can go outside and just right when you wake up, you just see that there's snow and that you can just go sledding.
I love it. That's definitely the positive. Matt, my kids woke us up. The very first thing they said was, can we get our snowsuits on? Can we go sledding? We went down the driveway. It was the best.
Did you sled?
No, I did not. I did not. 4-year-old twins, though, they did.
Well, you asked Kyle if he sledded, and your kids sled. You know who has sled? I sledded.
Oh, nice.
Check it out. Here I go. and it's not pretty. Watch this. This is down the neighbor's driveway. Oh, we can continue here. I don't know why it stopped. Well, the look on my face kind of says it all there, doesn't it?
Perfect. I love
Right.
it.
All
That's
right.
so fun.
Why did it stop?
That's okay.
That's
it's kind of a good freeze frame.
Yeah. Oh, and there's the end of it. Weird. Anyway, we're having video playback issues apparently, but yeah, the bottom line is this. I crashed into the wall at the bottom of my neighbor's driveway. Yeah. Don't worry, the wall wasn't damaged. So it was all good. All right, this is super interesting. This weather situation itself is interesting, but some of the things we're seeing are really pretty unusual. It's 26 up at Timberline. They've had at least a foot of new snow up there. Meanwhile, in Portland, at the airport, it's also 26. Not often, especially in winter, do you see that, where it's the same temperature down at sea level, basically, and then also up at 6,000 feet. It's also, we're actually colder downtown. We're at 24 degrees, so really, really interesting. And that's the problem. When you get that warm layer aloft, relatively warm, that's when you end up with freezing rain, because the precipitation starts as snow almost all the time, even in summer, and then it melts into rain as it comes down. And if it's all just warm and above freezing, it stays as rain. But what happens is when those raindrops fall into sub-freezing air, they either refreeze on the way down, so that's how you get ice pellets or sleet, or they freeze on contact if they haven't had enough time to freeze on the way down, and that's when you get freezing rain. We've got a lot of moisture rolling on in to produce all types of precipitation across western Oregon as we go into tonight. So it'll be ramping up. Notice the radars along the coast here really beginning to pick up now. There'll be more coming in tonight with this next band and eventually the cold front coming on through. Doppler radar is really interesting. It's showing us roughly where the rain snow line is, and it's right along the West Hills and south of there, south of really about the I-5-405 junction, it's a mix, or it's freezing rain and sleet. North of there, north of I-84 especially, it's mainly just snow. And then east towards the gorge and north up into Clark County, there's already been 3.5 inches of snow in Battleground and in Camas. So they're getting all the snow right now. Portland is kind of a mix, and then south of Portland, it's mainly ice. Temperatures there below freezing. So for that reason, there's an ice storm warning up. Don't see that very often for the Willamette Valley until, well, parts of the Willamette Valley, the Mid-Valley, from basically the Yamhill County, Washington County border south, the southwestern parts of Clackamas County, and down into Merriam County and Polk County and points south, and then even over towards the Central Coast Range to the east of Newport. That's until noon tomorrow. Our winter storm warning here continues until noon tomorrow as well. And then we'll begin to see things taper off during the day. Much of Oregon under a winter weather advisory or a winter storm warning, including the North Coast now. You're probably going to get some icing going on there, again, as this system continues to bash its way inland and override this really cold air that came out of the gorge the other day. So here's what it looks like on our modeling, and we'll go through this together. You can see this kind of increase in the rain pattern here just a bit in some of our modeling, but I think it's going to be mainly snow for Portland as we go into the day tomorrow. And then Sunday will eventually push out and get into rain. That's Monday at 1 o'clock, and by then we will be rain. The gorge will still be holding on to some snow at that point. The models, by the way, often have, well, they've had a tough time with the snowfall forecast, but they have a really tough time forecasting when it's going to warm up enough to get out of snow and freezing rain, because that low-level cold air is a really tough thing for them to get a grip on. But we're looking at about 5 inches of snow, 5, 6, maybe a little bit more in Portland by the time we roll into tomorrow, and a few more inches during the day. And then over in Hood River, a couple of feet. Mount Hood, the powder from what I hear has just been fantastic today, and that's going to continue. This is the map that concerns me the most. This is our ice accumulation map, and look at all the places are being modeled to get over an inch of ice. McMinnville, Monmouth, Newburgh, even as far north as Tigard and Clackamas. So again, that ice situation is the big concern overnight tonight and tomorrow, and it's icing on our lens in downtown Portland right now. So again, we are getting sleet and freezing rain, 26 degrees. I haven't seen many snowflakes out my window lately, and that's concerning because that means we're seeing more sleet and freezing rain. So we'll go for the snow and ice tonight in Portland. The West Hills to downtown, kind of a good border. North and east of there, more snow. South and west of there, more ice. Winds in the gorge will continue, of course. We'll make about 31 tomorrow. We'll go for a high of 33 on Sunday. Whatever the high is on Sunday, that'll be the low on Monday as temperatures will continue to warm. Warmest part of the day will be right around midnight Sunday night. For Sunday, Valentine's Day. Then next week we get out of it. We actually get one dry day on Wednesday, but at least we're going back to valley rain and mountain snow and no ice except in the gorge beginning on Monday, Kristen.
All right, great. It's good to see those temperatures, going up in the right direction. So millions of Americans are getting the COVID vaccination, but there's a large group of people who are eligible and they haven't gotten their first shot. Coming up, we'll look into the reasons why this is happening.
A change of scenery starts with a visit to Curtis Trailers.
Hey, Dan. I'm Kat. I am very analytical about the world. Most local news is all about fear, which I don't need. I don't need that in my life. I don't want to be told the headline and be like, that's it. The story, it's actually informative in a hopeful sort of way. Dan is just funny. He feels like a friend that is able to give me the inside scoop, and I can make up my own mind.
At Papa Murphy's, we make fresh pizza that you bake at home. Because home is where the fun is. Right now, get a large chicken Alfredo pizza for just $13. Papa Murphy's. Change the way you pizza.
Ask anyone who has been in an accident. What comes next can be just as bad as the accident itself. Getting yourself home, calling up your insurance company, negotiating a shop to take it to, making sure the shop uses factory parts, having a friend drive an appointment with the shop, having to make another finally dropping off your car, waiting to hear back from your insurance, taking your car back with your things they didn't fix, or you can just take it to Leif's. Call me, we'll pick you up, negotiate with the insurance company on your behalf, keep you informed, and drop it off when we're done, anywhere in the Northwest.
It's the President's Day event at DeWitt. From casseroles to plates and wine glasses, KitchenAid dishwashers can take on the mess, so you can take on what's next. Save big with KitchenAid today and ask about special financing at DeWitt, Portland's appliance experts.
I'll be right back. With moderate to severe Crohn's disease, I was there. Just not always where I needed to be.
Is she all right?
I hope so. So I talked to my doctor about Humira. I learned Humira is for people who still have symptoms of Crohn's disease after trying other medications. The majority of people on Humira saw significant symptom relief in as little as 4 weeks, and many achieved remission that can last.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections. Serious and sometimes fatal infections, including tuberculosis and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Be there for you and them. Ask your gastroenterologist about Humira. With Humira, remission is possible.
When you've got a business, you don't want to worry about slow internet or confusing cybersecurity. So get Comcast Business Internet with fast, reliable speeds and add the advanced security of Comcast Business Security Edge. It combines the speed you need with threat protection. Plus, there's 24/7 support. It's internet and advanced security made simple. So bounce forward with Comcast Business. Get started with a powerful internet and voice solution for just $64.90 a month and ask how to add Comcast Business Security Edge. Call today.
You're watching KGW, which can also be seen on these translators.
We spend a lot of time talking about people who want the coronavirus vaccine and cannot get it. But there's others getting offered the shot and saying no. While most of our stories focus on the wait or frustration to get the COVID vaccine, there is a large group not getting it when offered. Recent data from the CDC shows 62% of nursing home workers across the country have not gotten the first COVID shot when offered.
The first people to get it are the caregivers like me and the nursing home attendants and caregivers there, as well as the nursing home patients. Not a great idea for the people that are bathed in COVID like we are to refuse to get it because they themselves can be spreaders.
Dr. Mauricio Heilbronn, or Dr. Mo, is Vice Chief of Staff at St. Mary Medical Center in Long Beach, California. I talked to him after a 30-hour shift.
I'm really tired. And yeah, every day I check on my patient list and I see these names that are grayed out because they're dead. They died overnight. This has been like a nightmare science fiction horror movie for the last 2 months, 3 months. And anything we can do to keep people out, we'll do that. And The vaccine will do that.
The CDC looked at more than 11,000 senior living facilities that held one vaccination clinic between December to January. While 78% of residents got the shot, only 37.5% of staff did.
Why do you think the number is so large?
I think there's a lot of different reasons.
Melissa Unger is the executive director of the union, representing 73,000 nursing and home healthcare workers in Oregon. She believes workers will eventually get the shot. She said a large number didn't get the shot for several reasons, including this is a young workforce, many of whom don't trust the government. These are low-paying jobs, and some have a difficult relationship with their employer. And a large percentage of nursing home workers are people of color, people who are historically vaccine hesitant.
There's just so much distrust about where did this vaccine come from? They're some of the first people to get it. Lots of these people have had COVID because there's been massive outbreaks. So do they need it? So there's just a lot of factors that I think are really coming into play.
It's not just nursing home workers. Out of the major hospitals in the Portland metro area, 30% of Providence Health employees of the 27,000 eligible said they'd wait, declined, or didn't reply to the offer. Salem Health had 32% of more than 4,500 eligible employees decline at this time. OHSU doesn't have a number. Kaiser and Legacy Health don't keep track of who declined the vaccine. So why are people who work in healthcare not getting the shot? Some have cited side effect concerns. Others say they want to give the shot to someone more vulnerable. And some are still weary of the vaccine because of false rumors or misinformation.
It's part of this whole problem we've had for the last several years, honestly, is that people believe what they want to believe. They search for the information. It's the confirmation bias.
Dr. Mo urges people in healthcare and everyone else to get it for themselves, for their families, and to achieve the long-awaited herd immunity across the country.
So the fact that we're close, that we have something that works, and we're rejecting it makes no earthly sense on the planet. I hear their fears. I hear their bias. I hear their suspicions. But they're just not validated. They're personal, but they're not real. And they're dangerous. They're just frankly dangerous.
All right, so the good news here, we do know that some nursing home workers are in fact getting the vaccine. The union rep who you heard from in the piece says the nursing homes are having 3 vaccination clinics. And while many of the nursing home workers said no at that first clinic, they have seen more people taking the second shot, the second time it's offered.
This is KGW News at 4:30.
Now at 4:30, we're tracking another winter storm on the way to our area, from out in the gorge to right here in Portland and southwest Washington. People are dealing with snowy and icy conditions, and there's more on the way tonight. Morgan Romero is live in Vancouver, where several inches of snow are expected tonight. Morgan, you look all bundled up out there. You are ready for the snow. What are you seeing?
I am ready. I've been looking forward to this day for a long time, but I know a lot of people have not. You know, Kristen, the snow has not stopped falling here in Clark County. In fact, the rest of southwest Washington, they have not gotten a break. You can see a bus going by me right now, though. C-Tran also not taking a break. They're chained up. They've got their chains on their tires. They're still running some routes. We did, in fact, just see a plow on one of these roads. Not sure if it was City of Vancouver or Clark County, but it was really good to see they're treating the roads here as well. And now if we're showing you the sidewalk, I don't know if this has been plowed yet plowed yet at all, but there's quite a bit of snow on the sidewalk here. It's really deserted in town. We've seen a couple people walking around, but people really heeding those warnings to stay home, stay warm, stay safe. And as we take you to I-5, we are on an overpass right now. You can see a steady stream of cars heading south into Portland, cars heading north further into Clark County. However, I will say they are taking it slowly. They have been really cautious from what we've seen. Most cars we've seen have either chains or really good tires on them. Not necessarily the situation, according to WashDOT, all throughout southwest Washington. They said there's a lot of trouble areas, not necessarily ice on the roads, but a lot of snow on the roads. So WashDOT is all over the place. They've been treating roads for the past 24 hours, and they're going to continue to treat roads. They're putting down de-icer, so that's mag chloride, to ensure that the snow and ice doesn't stick to the roads. And then they're going in and they're plowing them, and they're chipping away at any of the ice on the roads, and they're putting salt down. So there's really good news that, you know, although resources resources are scarce. They are using them to their full advantage and will continue doing so throughout the rest of the weekend. For now, I'm going to send it over to Mike Benner, who is driving around in Drive 8 in Southwest Portland. Hey, Mike.
Yeah, hey there, Morgan. I'd say you drew the short straw, having to stand out in the freezing cold temperatures, and I'm in the warm car. Let's give you a live look here out the camera mounted on our windshield. We are on Barber, heading south, and actually just about to hop onto I-5, so perfect timing for this report. But you'll notice that Barber is snow-packed. I'd say a couple inches of snow sitting here on Barber, and now we're moving on to I-5 via this ramp here. And there's a good amount of snow on I-5 as well, but as you'll see here, it is passable. Cars are probably going 40, 45 miles an hour. You can't go at that 60 mile an hour clip that we all would normally, but it is passable right now. Haven't seen any ODOT trucks in this section. We were just going northbound about a half hour ago, and now we're heading southbound. No ODOT trucks out here. We did see a PBOT truck on Barber, but again, these crews are working as best they can in the conditions. We understand that there are about 200 ODOT maintenance workers on 12-hour shifts trying to keep up, but there's a lot of mileage in the Portland metro area, to keep an eye on. So they are doing the best that they can. But this is the condition again on I-5 southbound. As we approach the Lake Oswego area, it is slick, not snow coming down at this point. I'd describe it as basically a sleet. Again, we're going to continue cruising the roads and have reports throughout the evening, but for now, I'll send it back to you guys in that warm, cozy studio.
Well, you're in the warm, cozy car, so you can't say that to us. All right, thanks, Mike. Stay safe. Now let's get to Chief Meteorologist Matt Safina, who's tracking the latest conditions. And Matt, so what is it going to look like kind of tonight and moving into tomorrow morning?
By the way, nice job calling out Benner for trying to call us out.
Yeah,
no.
He's warm.
Right.
Yeah.
What is he talking about? Yeah. No kidding. All right. This is concerning. We're seeing all of this on the lens here at our Wells Fargo Skycam, and watching Mike Benner's live shot, the thing that I was most focused on was what the windshield wipers were doing, the fact that he wasn't getting snow falling out of the air. It was either sleet, as he mentioned, or freezing rain. And this is looking more and more like an ice situation, even for Portland right now. 26 degrees. The airport reporting snow, but that's where you're going to get the snow, is more north and east, closer to the gorge. Look at Washington County. This is the Reserve Golf Course. It's covered with what was snow, but again, it looks like maybe some snow, ice falling, 27 degrees. It is a mix out there. So certainly cold enough for frozen precipitation, but the problem is we're seeing a lot of that fall as rain or ice. And rain, when it falls into sub-freezing air, that is freezing rain, and it freezes on contact. So that is problematic. And again, this line is edging northward a little bit right now, where we're seeing that transition from all snow to a mix of sleet and freezing rain. Certainly that's the case as you go south into Clackamas County, southern Washington County, and Yamhill County, where we know we're getting a lot of ice. But I'm not seeing the snow kind of take over. I'm seeing the ice take over a little bit. So that's becoming a little bit more concerning. Some of the modeling still producing a lot of snow, but this is interesting. Updated model, high resolution model here, and look what this does. It only gives Portland 0.3 of an inch of snow through tomorrow night, while Troutdale gets 11 inches of snow. So if this is really onto this, that's a really interesting forecast, meaning that's going to be, the fact that you're not seeing a lot of snow here doesn't mean it won't be bad. It just means we're going to get a lot of ice. So you're going to get one or the other, and if the model's not going to give you snow, it's not necessarily going to show you ice unless you put that on there, but you can see where the snow is out through the gorge and out in the Cascades and up in Clark County, where they get quite a bit of snow, and even up in the Coast Range. And then to the south, you don't see any snow because that's basically going to be all ice. So we're going to have to watch the precipitation types really carefully overnight tonight. Already ice storm warning for Yamhill County, southern and western parts of Clackamas County, down into Marion County. We've already had several reports of heavy icing in places like Salem and Almsville, as much as a half an inch of ice falling there. So again, ice is going to be the big concern overnight tonight. We'll stick with that 3 to 8 inches of snow forecast for now, but as much as a half an inch of ice also in the Portland area. And we'll put the borderline around the west west hills, but that's going to fluctuate. It's hard to pin that down within 5-10 miles or so. South of Portland, as I mentioned, we know we're going to get heavy icing there, 1/2 inch to 1 inch. And the North Coast will get into the ice game as well, say from about Seaside, maybe as far south as Tillamook, and then points north, we're looking at 1/4 to 1/2 inch of ice. The gorge, ironically, the gorge is like the safe place to be in a way because it's just snow along with those strong winds, and it's not exactly perfect, but it certainly is a little bit better than the ice, Kristen.
All right, when you talk about the snow, there are plenty of people out enjoying the snow today. KGW reporter Maggie Vespa met Debbie and Dan Lamberger on Sylvan Hill. They were walking with their new pup, Sir Charles Barkley, the cutest dog name I think I've ever heard, who just arrived from Texas a few weeks ago and is experiencing snow for the first time.
Last night when it started to fall, was he kind of freaking out a little bit?
Yeah, he stands inside, looks out the window and barks at it while it's coming down because he just can't figure it out quite yet.
It's actually not that far off from what most humans do. They just kind of stare.
We stand at the window and look at it and get all excited. And so he was doing the same thing, absolutely.
Debbie and Dan say they've lived in the hills for a while and walked down towards Highway 26 partly to see if there were any stranded vehicles or other traffic issues. Former President Trump's lawyers lay out their case in the impeachment trial, coming up their arguments for why he should be acquitted. And it's been several months since Oregon's devastating wildfires have destroyed millions of acres of trees. Now you have a chance to make a difference and help restore the forests. KGW is teaming up with Oregon Parks Forever to plant trees. The goal? Plant 1 million trees. Just text the word tree to 91999 or visit replantoregon.org. $1 plants 1 tree. And up in this week, IQ Credit Union will match all of your donations.
Countertops and showers put your family at risk because bacteria grows below the surface where you can't clean. But we can. We'll clean, sterilize, and seal it. Call PermaTreat.
Oh yeah, I would certainly say that we're optimistic about our engagement.
One of the benefits of 2020 is that we got to spend a lot of time together and really connect, and that's one of the reasons why we're engaged now.
And the next part will be even better and brighter. Optimism for me is seeing the way that things are now and envisioning the way that things can be.
Sleep better than ever before with mattress savings up to 40% off, plus 48 months no-interest financing. Now during standard TV and appliances store-wide sale, including up to $400 on select Sealy, up to $500 on select Tempur-Pedic, and up to $800 on select Stearns & Foster adjustable mattress sets. Standard TV and appliance. Best service, best selection, best people.
For ease of towing and efficiency of space, nothing beats a fifth-wheel trailer. Find the largest selection of fifth-wheel trailers in the Northwest at Curtis Trailers, loaded with all the comforts of home. Curtis Trailers, Portland, Beaverton, or curtistrailers.com.
A migraine hope from Aimovig to show up for the sweet, the hectic, the tender, the tense, and the fiery. But for many, migraine keeps them from saying, I am here. We aim to change that with Aimovig, a preventive treatment for migraine in adults. 1 dose once a month is proven to reduce monthly migraine days, for some by half or more. Don't take Aimovig if you're allergic to it. Allergic reactions like rash or swelling can happen hours to days after use. Severe constipation can happen, sometimes with serious complications. High blood pressure can happen or worsen with Aimovig. Common side effects include injection site reactions and constipation. It doesn't matter what each day brings, so long as you can say, I am here. Aim to be there more. Talk to your doctor about Aimovig.
History in the making, the beginning of a new era in America. As Joe Biden takes office, the major changes and challenges ahead. The vaccine effort picks up.
Where are the majority of those doses?
NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
At the impeachment trial for former President Trump today, the defense presents its brief case for acquittal. Lawyers deny he incited the attack on the U.S. Capitol, saying he was exercising free speech in remarks before the insurrection. Alice Barr has an update from Washington.
The Trump legal team laying out its defense in just 3 hours today, calling the former president's impeachment
an unjust and blatantly unconstitutional act of political vengeance.
Mr. Trump's lawyers zeroing in on his fiery words directly before the deadly Capitol siege.
We fight like hell, and if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
Arguing he was exercising free speech.
To claim that the president in any way wished, desired, or encouraged lawless or violent behavior is a preposterous and monstrous lie.
They aired a minutes-long, selectively edited montage of top Democrats using similar rhetoric.
Fight that fight.
We have been fighting. I was fighting very hard.
Time is of the essence, both in terms of the fight.
I think we should be fighting.
It's a word people use, but please stop the hypocrisy.
The Trump team, though, largely ignoring charges. The former president's actions before the Capitol attack echoed a long-standing pattern of egging on supporters, then taking no blame. They agreed with House managers the assault on the Capitol was planned beforehand, but strongly denied the former president lit the fuse.
You can't incite what was already going to happen.
After the defense rested, senators were able to ask each side questions.
Exactly when did the president learn of the breach at the Capitol, and what steps did he take to address the violence? Isn't this simply a political show trial? If we do not convict former President Trump, what message will we be sending to future presidents?
The Senate tonight one step closer to its historic vote on whether to convict a former president for the first time. The trial is scheduled to continue tomorrow with a verdict possible this weekend. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
And here's a live look at the Rose City Sky Cam, and you can see a very snowy downtown Portland. Matt Savino is tracking another storm moving in tonight, bringing more snow and ice to the area. He'll have an update next.
Wave Broadband. Imagine better.
Hey, Dan. I'm Shane. I don't want to be like super depressed when I watch the news. That's one of the things I like about the story is that I never leave, Dan Haggerty's got his finger on the pulse of the community. Look at a lot of good information in a short amount of time.
Ask anyone who has been in an accident. What comes next can be just as bad as the accident itself. Getting yourself home, calling up your insurance company, negotiating a shop to take it to, making sure the shop uses factory parts, having a friend drive an appointment with the shop, having to make another finally dropping off your waiting to hear back from your insurance, taking your car back with your things they didn't fix, or you can just take it to Leif's. Call me. We'll pick you up, negotiate with the insurance company on your behalf, keep you informed, and drop it off when we're done, anywhere in the Northwest.
It's time for the ultimate Sleep Number event on the Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed.
Can I help with snoring?
I've never heard snoring.
Exactly.
No problem. And done. And now save 50% on the Sleep Number 360 Limited Edition Smart Bed, plus free premium delivery when you add a base. Ends Monday.
Are you looking for a career in a dental or medical clinic? Having served Oregon and Washington for 35 years, we can find that position for you. Best of all, there's no placement fee to you, the applicant. We're a licensed employment agency specializing in filling positions for hygienists, dental assistants, dental front office, dentists, and medical professionals. Dental and medical staffing can also help your office find the perfect candidate. Call us today at 503-618-TEMP.
Last summer, more than 1 million acres were devastated by wildfires right here in Oregon, destroying trees that make this place we love so special. You can help regrow our forests. Give trees. Donate today at replantoregon.org. Every dollar you donate plants a tree. Help us to get to our goal of 1 million trees.
And welcome back. Turning now to the most important story of the day and really the entire weekend, our weather. Matt, I know you're tracking snow, but more importantly, ice. And I can see that on your Skycam already.
Yeah, there's been a lot of ice out there. I'm not seeing a lot of snow around the Portland area either, so that is a bit of a concern. I want to start you out with this, though. Video from Multnomah Falls. The folks out there sending this in. The lodge is closed because of the bad weather, and until the roads get better, it will stay closed. But the falls is icing up. Just absolutely stunning. One of the more beautiful spots in Oregon any time of the year. But when we get the ice like this, it really is something magical. And you see the snow flying in the gorge there in the foreground. So kind of fun to see the Multnomah Falls video. This is what Kristen was referring to. Our Skycam in downtown Portland, top of the Wells Fargo building, it's totally iced over. The lens is there. It's only 26 degrees, so the ice won't be melting. And as I've been looking out the window here in downtown, I haven't seen many snowflakes. I've just been seeing sleet and freezing rain. This is the scene out in the gorge. Some snow falling there. It's only 21 degrees out of the gorge, and that cold air still feeding through the gorge on the heels, riding this east wind, 21 miles an hour in Troutdale, 22 at the airport, and stronger gusts deeper into the gorge. And up in Crown Point, we've had gusts over 70 miles an hour. That east wind comes out of the gorge, and then it spreads out and follows the terrain up the Willamette Valley and out to the coast. Notice, though, Newport, which has had an east wind, now they're out of the south at 14. And not all that surprising. What's happening is we've got low pressure to the north, so that's trying to draw the south wind up. We haven't had the pressure pattern yet that would bring us a south wind up the valley, so that's why it's all east and north. But that is interesting to see that wind turning around and coming out of the south down in Newport. Now, we look at Doppler radar, lots of moisture rolling in. That is for certain. The question is, what kind of precipitation is it going to be? The snow line and the snow versus ice line has shifted north ever so slightly right now. You see there's a little tongue of rain in here. That's probably freezing rain there. But the real snow pattern is from about I-84 northward and eastward, and then up in Clark County where there's been several inches of snow. Although I'm hearing and getting reports of some sleet there, and that's being depicted also on Doppler radar. So it's an icy, snowy mess, but more towards an icy mess, especially when you look at this model. This is one of our high-resolution models. It's one of the newer models, so we don't have a big track record with this one. But notice how it produces a bunch of snow in Troutdale. That's by 9:30 tonight, 5 inches. 10 inches, 11 inches, and only a little bit of snow in Portland. Decent snowfall in Gresham, Battleground, Woodland, and out in the Cascades and in the Gorge. But the reason we're not seeing the snow here isn't because we're not going to get anything. It's because we're going to get ice instead of snow. So that is a concern. The ice storm warning right now extends to the Washington County, Yamhill County border, and then points south, including Canby, Salem. Salem reports there of already a half an inch of ice, and had a report of about 5 inches of snow in Happy Valley as well. So that's where we're seeing the snow, and then ice in the Mid-Valley. Almsville also reported, at last report anyway, a half an inch of ice, and much of Oregon is under either an ice storm warning or a winter storm warning or a winter weather advisory with wind advisories down in Lake County. Here's the system coming on in. It is drawing a bit of a south wind because there's so much low pressure up here. We've been waiting for low pressure to develop closer to the mouth of the Columbia River and then move inland just south of Portland. That would tend to keep us on the snowy side of things, but that has yet to happen. So we'll have to keep a close eye on these little micro features, basically, and how they change the wind pattern and the temperature profile of the atmosphere. So another look at our modeling again, showing a rain-snow mix over Portland into tomorrow. Then it dries out for a bit in the afternoon tomorrow, and then on Sunday, more precipitation coming in. East winds at first would ensure a mess of ice and freezing rain again before later Sunday night. We'll finally see, and then into Monday, there we go. That's Monday morning before we see that south wind really kick in. So it's going to be a wild weekend with a whole lot of this coming our way and hopefully more snow too. But right now, it's looking rather icy, 26 degrees in Portland. Our forecast then, I'll get about 1 to 4 inches of snow overnight, but as much as a half an inch of ice in the Portland area. It'll taper off tomorrow, get up to about 31 degrees. Our temperature right now is about our low for the overnight time tonight and tomorrow, 24. Valentine's Day, we're going to go snow to ice to rain. But that rain may not happen until Monday, so we'll have to keep a close eye on the overnight hours Sunday and into Monday. And then by later Monday, then we know we'll be out of it. It's always these transitions that get messy.
All right, Matt, thanks so much. We'll be right back.
Driving in winter weather can be dangerous, so is your car ready? Well, you can use this checklist. Keep your gas tank at least half full. Check your fluid levels. Make sure all your lights are working. Check your brakes. Inspect your tires. And stay safe by following KGW wherever you get news.
Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's most trusted brand for 6 years running. And right now, Gresham Subaru has financing as low as 0% for 63 months on Outback and other models, plus a free lifetime limited warranty. See GreshamSubaru.com.
Mattress World Northwest makes shopping easy with the largest selection of name brand mattresses in the Northwest. Compare the comfort of Stearns & Foster, Beautyrest Black, Sealy Hybrid, and other brands you love. Plus, get the convenience of white glove delivery, setup, and removal of your old mattress. This President's Day, get a free head and foot up adjustable base with the purchase of select mattresses starting at just $6.99. It's not too late to sleep like a baby at Mattress World Northwest.
Kaiser has the total picture in mind when they're taking care of their patients. The pandemic hit early in 2020, and we were in a good position to continue offering our patients virtual cardiac rehab. Very important to patients who have had a cardiac event. Kaiser is still doing all the same excellent care we've always done. We were able to make a few minor adjustments and continue to offer this high quality, important service to our patients and for them to do well.
Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Don't miss savings up to 40% off store-wide during Standard TV and Appliances store-wide sale. These deals won't last, so stop in today. Standard TV and Appliance. Best service, best selection, best people.
Washed your hands a lot today?
Probably like 40 times.
Hands feel dry?
Like sandpaper.
Introducing new Dove Hand Wash with 5 times moisturizer blend. Removes germs in seconds. Moisturizes for hours.
Soft, smooth.
New Dove Hand Wash.
The sun is incredible. It makes our Lipton tea leaves better, which makes the smooth tea taste better, and time together even better. And drinking Lipton can help support a healthy heart. Lipton is a proud sponsor of the American Heart Association's Life is Why campaign.
Subaru Outback is an IIHS top safety pick for 2020. And right now at Gresham Subaru, get financing as low as 0% for 63 months on Outback and other select models, plus a free lifetime limited warranty. See GreshamSubaru.com.
IFB, I don't know what I did with it.
Well, the staff at a Beaverton restaurant is surprised with a tip 100 times larger than the bill. John Goodwin checks out the mysterious gesture by a generous customer.
I love the restaurant industry, always will.
The walls of any restaurant are built on a social concept.
It's about friends, family, meeting new people, enjoying themselves. We wanted people to be in a space where they could enjoy good, fresh, prepared food, a great German beer. We bring in enough of them and relax.
If you've seen a Bar Garten or Gustav's, there's 5 of them around the area. Rene Bride is VP of the group that owns them. He says it's been tough with a quiet dining room.
It's a real yo-yo. It goes from one extreme to another. It's difficult for us to make a decision. It's extremely difficult on the staff.
When COVID forced a second shutdown late last year, Bar Garten voluntarily closed on December 3rd.
Takeout, honestly, for full-service restaurants is very hard. To build up the labor, it takes about 3 hours a day to set up the kitchens, and it's just not worth it.
After 10 weeks, they reopened on Wednesday.
We were setting up, and we were pretty excited just to get the doors open again and hoping that the restrictions would loosen.
Turns out someone else was pretty excited too. A man patiently waiting outside 10 minutes before opening. He then sat outside, ordered lunch, no big deal.
And at the end of it, the server came running over and gathered us, and she was trembling. And she showed us, and we were all like, oh my God.
Renee says he's a repeat customer, and staff couldn't believe what he left behind. A $2,000 tip on a $20 check. Something that would give a shot in the arm to any business, but what left a mark was the gesture.
Just that somebody took the time to do that and impress upon us that there's a lot of good in the world, even though it's been a little tough this last year.
The weather kept the doors shut on Friday, but when it clears, Bar Garden isn't looking for another huge tip. They're hoping that people will come in to enjoy themselves. What a concept.
there's still a lot of great things to look forward to, and we know we'll all get through this. It's just a matter of putting our head down and pushing through.
In Beaverton, John Goodwin, KGW News.
Wow, amazing. Would love to see that passed on and passed on. That's so great for that business. And that's going to do it for us here at 4 o'clock. Laurel Porter is here for KGW News at 5.
This is KGW News at 5.
Hello, friends, and welcome to KGW News at 5 o'clock on this snowy Friday. Most of us woke up to an inch or two of snow this morning, maybe more where you are. Strong winds and icy conditions caused some trouble spots out in the gorge and the usual trouble spots in the Portland area like this, Highway 26. And taking a live look now at conditions in downtown Portland from our Wells Fargo Skycam, pretty gray out there. The Portland area has seen light but steady snow and freezing rain all day. Thank you for joining us. I'm Laurel Porter. As we have been saying this week, this was just the first round. Chief Meteorologist Matt Zaffino is tracking what's still to come this weekend. And Matt, I know now you're getting more concerned about ice and freezing rain.
That's what we're seeing in Portland right now throughout much of the metro area. Even up into Clark County, the reports I'm getting are sleet, not as much snow. There's been good snow up there, 3.5 inches in many locations. Downtown right now, you can see it's cloudy and the roads are white. It's 26 degrees. That won't really be changing overnight tonight. But the view from our Wells Fargo Skycam is really quite telling because the lens up there is completely coated in ice, as you can see here, which doesn't happen if you're getting snowfall. That happens if you're getting freezing rain or something is melting in the snow. And in this case, we're getting some freezing rain and sleet in downtown Portland. 26 degrees here. It's cold everywhere. 21 up in Happy Valley. There it's been snow. And the reason areas north and east get more snow and less ice because the layer of the cold air is deeper. So what it takes to get freezing rain and sleet is a layer of warm air that allows the snowflakes, where the precipitation forms up in the clouds, to melt into rain. And then if it falls into cold air, if that cold air is very shallow, then you get freezing rain or sleet. So over in the gorge, there's not as much warm air up there aloft, so they're staying all snow. 27 in Sherwood right now, McMinnville 30, 29 Salem, still freezing even as far south as Corvallis, Eugene, and Tillamook above freezing. So we're right on the edge of this very cold air in the gorge and out to the east side of Portland, and then warmer air on down to the south, and the precipitation is fighting its way through that and into that. And we look at Doppler radar, we can get a clue as to what kind of precipitation we're dealing with. And out in Washington County, up through much of Multnomah County, we're seeing, or the southern portions of Multnomah County, we're seeing sleet and freezing rain. And then northern Multnomah County, eastern Multnomah County, we're getting snow. So again, most of this is now sleet and freezing rain, and so that is the concern for the overnight hours and into tomorrow, because it's not going to stop precipitating. The question is what type. This model is super interesting, showing 5-6 inches in Troutdale, nothing in Portland through tonight. And then into tomorrow, it gives us not even a half an inch of snow, while Troutdale has 10-11 inches of snow. It's not because we're not going to get similar amounts of precipitation. Theirs will be snow. Ours is looking more and more like ice. Here in the metro area, there's an ice storm warning already. Yamhill County, Clackamas County, Marion County, and points south. We're under a winter storm warning for a combination of ice and snow here in the metro area. So let's break it down this way. Overnight tonight and into tomorrow. The West Hills, north and east, still should see some snow, but I'm beginning to think it's going to be more ice, as much as a half an inch of ice here. Certainly a lot of ice south of downtown Portland, a half an inch to an inch of ice. Parts of Salem, Almsville have already seen a half an inch of ice, with more on the way overnight tonight and tomorrow. Just amazing. North coast from roughly Seaside northward, as much as a half an inch of ice. And the gorge will stay snowy with those strong winds as well. So, Laurel, there's a lot going on. We'll be watching this, of course, all through the night.
Boy, that ice, that's when you can really have problems with power outages and everything.
It's so heavy, yeah.
We'll be keeping an eye on it. Thank you, Matt. And we have a lot more weather coverage ahead, too, with our team of reporters out and about. But first, we want to talk about vaccinations. And the winter storm brought COVID vaccinations to a stop. More than 12,000 people in the greater Portland area will have to be rescheduled. While there will be a slight delay with those shots, tens of thousands of more doses are on the way. Here's Pat Doris.
The winter storm convinced organizers at the Oregon Convention Center to shut down operations for Friday and Saturday. They felt the roads were just too dangerous for patients and for those giving the shots.
We were really happy that we made the decision to go ahead and close down the vaccination site for today.
Brian Terrett is a spokesman for the group. He said the decision on whether to close Sunday will be made Saturday afternoon.
Right now, it appears that there may be a warming trend and some rain coming in. If that's the case, then we feel good that there's a possibility we'll be open on Sunday. Again, if the weather stays, we may want to continue to keep it closed or maybe just have a delayed opening.
Shutting down the convention center 2 days means roughly 6,000 people will have their appointments rescheduled. Here's a rundown. At the convention center, things are closed Friday and Saturday. If you had an appointment, you'll be contacted by email or phone. The airport vaccination operation run by OHSU is also closed Saturday and Sunday. That impacts another 6,000 people who will be contacted to reschedule. And the Clark County Fairgrounds shut down Saturday. That event is rescheduled for Tuesday the 16th from 9 until noon. And if you're worried about doses going to waste because of the cancellations, the answer is no, they will not.
We don't actually start the preparation for the vaccines until the morning of the vaccination clinic. So the vaccines are in a deep freeze, and they have about a 30 to 45-minute thawing process that they go through.
About 18,000 new doses of the vaccine will arrive in the greater Portland area next week, and appointments can be scheduled beginning Monday at 9 a.m. on the state's online portal. Another round of appointments will open next Thursday at 9 a.m. And Safeway and Albertsons announced each of their pharmacies in Oregon and Southwest Washington now have about 100 doses of the vaccine. The scheduling software will open soon if it's not already open. You can go to Safeway.com or Albertsons.com or call the local pharmacy. Pat Doris, KGW News.
It was a rough morning for some drivers, and we'll talk more about that in just a minute. But first, let's check in on road conditions around the area right now. Mike Benner's live in Drive 8 for us. Mike, tell us where you are, and are you seeing that freezing rain that Matt's talking about?
Yeah, hey there. Good evening, Laurel. We are on I-5 northbound, rather, approaching the Lower Boones Ferry exit, and we're going to take a live look here outside the front of our car and take a look at those roads. Pretty impressive. To answer your question, we're seeing a little bit of a rain sleet mix right now, but the pavement, we can see it, and kudos to the ODOT crews, because there was about 3 or 4 trucks that moved through here within the last hour, both northbound and southbound lanes, and they cleared it. So kudos to them. There's about 200 folks working 12-hour shifts to, make these roads passable for us to get around town. And again, I'd say this is pretty impressive, but it's even better just south of here. We've been up and down I-5, basically between the Terwilliger curves and Wilsonville, and there are people moving at freeway speeds right now. In fact, some are moving above freeway speeds. Not the brightest idea, because you can hit something slick at really any point, but needless to say, we can see the pavement. We are moving just fine. And again, this is I-5 northbound as we approach Carmen. So we're going to continue cruising area roads, and we'll be in touch. But for now, things looking good south of Portland. Let's send it back to you.
Indeed, hats off to our road crews. Thank you, Mike. We continue our team coverage now with Morgan Romero with an update on conditions in Southwest Washington. Morgan, yesterday you were here with me in the studio. You wanted to get out there and do some storm team coverage. What are you seeing there in Southwest Washington?
Laurel, I don't remember saying that. Are you lying? No, I really did say that. I was so excited. I'm from Idaho. I was ready to get out here. But hey, we are in Vancouver right now, and I gotta say, it's been impressive. I've seen at least one city or county crew come by and treat this road here, just an arterial road in downtown, but they were treating it with what looked like some salt or de-icer. However, different story here on the sidewalk. The town is pretty much deserted. No one's really walked through in a couple hours, but no one has shoveled this sidewalk. Now, as we take you to I-5, a steady stream of cars have been going north and south on I-5 here in Clark County throughout the afternoon. I will say, we haven't seen any issues. Drivers have been taking it really slowly. A lot of drivers have chains on their cars. They've got traction tires. But I did talk to WashDOT about half an hour ago, and they told me there are trouble spots all over Southwest Washington, but they are treating roads with that mag chloride, so they're treating them with de-icer as well as salt. They're plowing the roads. We just saw 2 plows come through about 10 minutes ago, so really good news for drivers here that they are using their resources to the best of their advantage. But of course, if you see plows on the road, give them plenty of space, and if you do have to go anywhere, take it really, really slow. But of course, WashDOT asking that if you don't have to go anywhere, don't go anywhere. You heard Pat mention that mass vaccination site. Oh, a bus right there. chained up. Buses are still running routes. But Pat mentioned that mass vaccination site of the Clark County Fairgrounds is closed, and WSU Vancouver also canceled operations on campus today, too, because it is just nasty out here. They have not gotten a break in Southwest Washington, and they will not get a break, according to Matt Zaffino. We'll send it back to you.
You know, it's really nasty here in the studio, too. The wind is blowing. It's so cold, and I need my beanie. Just kidding. But thank you so much, Morgan. Good to see you out there.
Well, I think we have 3 seasons here: wind, and ice. And that's pretty much it.
Seemingly no sweat for season residents, but the wind and snow were intense in the gorge this morning, which made for scary driving conditions in and around Corbet. At times, our crews could barely see the road through all the blowing snow. It's going to be a long weekend of winter weather in that area, so drive slow and steady, and only really if you have to drive at all. Better if you don't get out on the roads. Roads in Portland, they were much better this morning. We took our GoPro out for a drive through the city. Most streets, including major arterials on the east side like Powell Boulevard, were not plowed. That made for a bumpy, slippery drive. If you plan to drive in the snowy conditions, be ready to chain up. Because, case in point, Highway 26 this morning, check it out, just west of the Vista Ridge Tunnel. We saw a lot of cars spin out or pull off, unable to make it up the hill. It's a trouble spot whenever we have snow, something neighbors have caught on to.
We live in the neighborhood, and we were just coming out to experience the snow and kind of check out 26 and just see what it's like, since it's always a hot spot or cold spot. When people ask where we live, we're like, well, we're up by Sylvan, you know, where all the news crews are when the first flakes fall.
Seems like they've learned our news secrets. I'll never forget Pat Doris up there with his goggles on. Well, in case you caught a glimpse there of that sweet little dog, that's Sir Charles Barkley. He just arrived from a rescue in Texas a few weeks ago, so this is his very first snowfall. Welcome to town, Sir Charles. Typically, by the time we approach Valentine's Day, we are in the clear of seeing any ice or snow. Not this year. Joe Ranieri joins us live from Beaverton with how some businesses are adapting to the weather. We don't want to forget Sunday's Valentine's Day, Joe.
Hey, I have it circled. In fact, I have a heart around of my calendar for Sunday, Laurel. But, you know, Valentine's Day is big business for, of course, local businesses and florists as well. It's especially some restaurants in the area. And they tell me they're not going to get a little snow and ice prevent them from staying open over the next couple days.
Been a little stressful this morning. We were up early testing the roads, trying to figure out if we could deliver today safely, but we've gotten everything out for today. So
Jerry Barr knows her flowers. Her specialty is putting together arrangements for weddings.
They're all in their little winter coats, ready to head out the door.
This is her first Valentine's Day putting together arrangements for customers.
We did Valentine's Day this year, so you know, of course, it's going to be an adventurous one, right? Our first Valentine's Day.
It may have been stressful, but she was able to get a majority of orders delivered before more snow or ice. At Elephant's Deli in Northwest Portland, Nicholas Dowdy is busy helping prepare nearly 200 special Valentine's Day dinners for pickup.
How are you coordinating those nearly 200 meals that you just talked about?
Well, we've been in business for 41 years, and we've seen a lot of snowstorms in our time. So we have some pretty good processes.
And customers have been calling, making sure they can still get that lobster mac and cheese or the tender sirloin with prawns.
So we have a lot of people who've been in communication with different customers on the phone and via email and just saying, hey, we're going to be open. We're here for you.
At Nicoletta's Table in Lake Oswego, they're doing takeout delivery and in-person dining. They brought in more help since Governor Brown had eased restrictions, allowing some indoor seating.
We just have hired back people, and they're ready to go. They're ready to serve, and they're very excited about it. So we'll see how it goes this weekend. I mean, it is very treacherous out there.
Businesses might be hoping for a busy weekend.
We've been doing that safety thing with masks for quite some time, and now we have to be safe with our feet and with our tires as well.
But they also want to make sure everyone stays safe on the roads.
And Laurel, Jerry, that florist you just heard from in the story, told me earlier today she got all of her deliveries out earlier today, all with one driver. Pretty impressive considering this is her first year doing Valentine's Day flower deliveries. And she has a few more to do for tomorrow. She said she's hoping to get an early jump before things get too crazy. But we're live out here in Beaverton, and I can tell Jerry this, it's already a little pretty crazy out here in parts of Washington County. Back to you.
Well, we thank all the businesses and employees for helping us make Valentine's Day special this year, too. Thank you, Joe. Matt's full forecast with more on that freezing rain and ice that he's talking about coming up next. And still ahead, what does a snow day look like when almost everyone is staying home anyway? We catch up with the folks making the most of it next.
It's the President's Day event at DeWitt, Portland's appliance experts.
Winter driving is here, so carry an emergency kit. Include an ice scraper, a flashlight and extra batteries, rags to wipe your windshield, flares, chains, and a first aid kit. Stay safe by following KGW wherever you get news.
If your heat stops working, it's only a matter of time before the cold of winter makes your home unbearable. That's why the team at Wolfers is waiving our $99 diagnostic fee if you go with the recommended repairs on your heating system. We'll also do the same for your air conditioning or plumbing systems. Trust your home to Wolfers Home Services.
Be bold. Get cold. It's time to plunge yourself. The Polar Plunge is going virtual. It's a great way to support the Special Olympic athletes all over the state. This February, take the Polar Plunge. Go for a Polar Fun Run, walk, and roll, and become a Super Plunger hero from the safety of your own home. Choose your virtual event, create or join a team, and share the fun by going social. Join us today at plungeoregon.org.
Ask anyone who has been in an accident. What comes next can be just as bad as the accident itself. Getting yourself home, calling up your insurance company, negotiating a shop to take it to, making sure the shop uses factory parts, having a friend drive an appointment with the shop, having to make another finally dropping off your car, waiting to hear back from your insurance, taking your car back with your things they didn't fix, or you can just take it to Leif's. Call me. We'll pick you up, negotiate with the insurance company on your behalf, keep you informed, and drop it off when we're done, anywhere in the Northwest.
What a great place to work and play. Spirit Mountain Casino. We offer the area's most generous benefits package along with an opportunity for growth. Food and beverage areas are looking for you. Go to spiritmountain.com and join our team today.
Last summer, more than 1 million acres were devastated by wildfires right here in Oregon, destroying trees that make this place we love so special. You can help regrow our forests. Give trees. Donate today at replantoregon.org. Every dollar you donate plants a tree. Help us to get to our goal of 1 million trees.
History in the making, the beginning of a new era in America. As Joe Biden takes office, the major changes and challenges ahead. The vaccine effort picks up.
Where are the majority of those doses?
NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Okay, let's be honest. Many of our snow days are spent covering car crashes and other messes, but not so much today because people are just staying home. Kylie Boshi's live in the Selwood, Westmoreland area of southeast Portland, and Kyle has this story about how people were having a lot of fun.
Instead of the usual chaos caused by a little snow, most of Portland took it easy and stayed off the roads. For those who did have to drive, it was slow going, and that's a good thing. Others opted to leave the car at home and instead took the bus.
My car is, I just have a small car, so it's not equipped for the snow.
In the Westmoreland Selwood area of southeast Portland, many neighbors ventured out on foot. The packed snow made walking relatively easy.
Just walk carefully, just, don't rush, but it's pretty sticky, so it's not icy. Have the right shoes on that have some good grip, and just enjoy it.
A few people got a little more adventurous, like this guy.
It's my bicycle here.
Riding a bike in the snow. The special tires do help.
Got a little fat bike, it's got 4-inch wide tires, and snow's no problem.
But in these conditions, one of the best ways to get around was a sled. They were in high demand.
These guys were asking about sleds earlier, and so we knew that we had to come down before they sold out.
Luckily, Westmoreland Hardware saw the storm coming and stocked up.
We know all these people. We're a neighborhood store, so we know these people, and to see them with the kids out playing, it's a lot of fun.
As proof, you've just got to go down the street to Selwood Park, where a snow-covered hill became the perfect spot to go sledding. All it took was a little encouragement.
Bye.
And this little guy was off. It's a fun ride that was repeated over and over on this snowy Portland day.
Back here live in southeast Portland, a lot of businesses, storefronts, they didn't even bother opening up today. Figured snow, don't bother. But others, they were fairly busy. The grocery store one, you also saw the hardware store, how busy they were, and also coffee shops, they were absolutely slammed with people just walking in and get a cup of coffee.
Like so much fun, Kyle. People were sledding near my house too. Is it freezing rain there right now?
It is. There's freezing rain on my jacket and also on the microphone here. It's icy.
Well, thanks for that first-hand report, because we're going to go to Matt right now and find out more. You know, we love the snow, Matt, but not so much the ice. What does it look like for the rest of the night?
I keep searching for a mechanism that's going to turn this back to snow, and I'm not finding it, but we'll get into that. I saw some kids out there having fun in the snow, too, with a bit of a snow angel situation happening, so fun to see that. Now, I can't see the snow, but you know what I can do? I can hear the freezing rain and the sleet hitting my window right behind this monitor here. So that's what we're getting in downtown Portland right now, is freezing rain and sleet. It is 26 degrees at the airport. We are at 24 downtown. This is what it looks like from our Wells Fargo sky cam. The camera, of course, on top of the building, and it is iced over. Has been for a while. 26 degrees there, east winds again. 22 miles an hour, so it is blowing. This is the scene up at the top of, well, not the top of Timberline, but at the lodge, looking out the top of the Bruno chair, where it's 25 degrees. So it's about the same, 6,000 feet, as it is down here at sea level, which is amazing, and therein lies the problem. You want it to be colder as you go up. Somewhere in between there's a warm layer that's turning the snow to rain, which is then refreezing on the way down or when it reaches the ground, hence freezing rain. So there's been about a foot of new snow up there, by the way. The skiing today, from what I hear, is awesome. Would have been great to be there. 27 in Sherwood, 21 Happy Valley. There's been about 5 inches of snow there, and I got a report from the little town of Stella, which, if you don't know where Stella is, here's Kelso and Longview. Stella is right about there in Cowlitz County. 6 inches of snow there. So that's where the snow has been, and really since this began, because they had about 3 inches of snow up in parts of Thurston County around Olympia, Washington, while we only had a little bit. That's where they got the snow, and now it's up in Cowlitz County and Clark County once again. You can see it on Doppler radar. That's pretty much all white, but even there's some pockets of mixed snow and freezing rain. And Morgan must be in that pocket right there in Clark County, because she was telling us that she's getting sleet in her location in Clark County. And then, as Kyle mentioned, in much of Portland here, dealing with sleet and freezing rain at the moment. So the question, and now the line has edged a little bit farther back to the south, and it may do that. It may just waver around. The snow versus sleet line may push back and forth because of the influx of the cold air coming out of the gorge versus the south wind over at the coast trying to win out. So there's this struggle going on in the atmosphere, and we're kind of dealing with the outfall, which is sleet right now. There is an ice storm warning for Yamhill County, southwestern parts of Clackamas County, Marion County. Already several reports of a ½ inch of ice in Marion County, including Salem. So West Hills north and east, 1 to 4 inches of snow. I've brought that down a little bit because I think we're going to see more ice. South of downtown, though, remains the same, up to an inch of ice by tomorrow. There's already been a ½ inch, more on the way tonight. And the north coast, north of about Seaside, maybe Manzanita, getting ice as well. And the gorge continues with the snow and the strong wind. So here's the weather system that's coming in right now. The thing is this, low pressure is to the north. Now we've got all this high pressure, the cold air east side, pushing the wind this way. But with low pressure to the north, the wind wants to follow that way. And so it's a bit of a battle between which would work out. If we get some low pressure that can form and move inland south of Portland, that would tend to turn us back to snow, and that was modeled, but I'm not seeing that happen just yet. So we'll have to watch it very carefully, the winds and the situation. Now this is overnight tonight, showing a little batch of snow moving in there, so that would be great, turn it back to snow. But then as we go into Saturday, notice the Southern Valley begins to warm up. Even tomorrow may get out of it in parts of Salem and points south. For Portland, we'll run this into Sunday night, and look, that's still an east wind, so that's probably still freezing rain for us. Then as we go into the early morning hours on Monday, there's the south wind to rescue us from the sub-freezing temperatures and get things back up to where they should be and back to normal. There's a shot outside once again of the Bruno chair. It is 26 degrees in Portland as we look at that, and the freezing level this morning was 5,900 feet. So tonight, some snow, but we're seeing more ice, freezing rain, sleet tonight than snow, at least at the moment. It'll taper off tomorrow for a while. We'll catch a little bit of a break. High temperature tomorrow, about 31, then 33 on Sunday. The high temperature Sunday will be the low temperature on Monday, and then we'll get out of it as we go into next week. We're back after this.
A ballet dancer's body goes through so much pain, and the pain was really bad in my knees, my ankles, even in my hips sometimes. When you're a dancer, that's just the last thing that you want. And so my mom took me into Good Feet, and then that's when we got my arch supports. A week after I got them, I was like, holy cow, all of a sudden the pain just went away. I didn't even know the arch supports existed until I got them, and I was like, where were these all my life?
Try them for yourself with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store. Mattress World Northwest makes shopping easy with the largest selection of name brand mattresses in the Northwest. This President's Day, get a free head and foot up adjustable base with the purchase of select mattresses starting at just $6.99. Only at Mattress World Northwest.
Winning Motor Trend Truck of the Year 3 times in a row, that had never been done before. Then again, neither had a 12-inch touchscreen or 1,000 pound-feet of torque, or being the only pickup on Car and Driver's 10 best list. Never been done before. It's just kind of our thing.
During the Ram President's Day event, get 0% financing for 72 months, plus $4,000 total bonus cash on the 2021 Ram 1500. Hurry in for this great offer.
Your internet is a big deal, and great Wi-Fi is everything. Designed for any home, connecting to all your devices. It's a mesh Wi-Fi system that makes life great. Starting at $5 a month, limited time only. Imagine better with Wave.
Discover the modern elegance of Seaside's newest hotel, the Salt Line. Designed for your comfort, relaxation, and inspiration. Explore Seaside's scenic views, nearby restaurants, stores, and attractions. Experience our luxurious rooms. Unwind with an on-site massage, saltwater pool, and gym. The Salt Line is committed to sustainability, your safety, and hospitality. And right now, stay 2 nights and get up to 20% off. Discover the difference. The Salt Line Hotel.
When you've got a business, you don't want to worry about slow internet or confusing cybersecurity. So get Comcast Business Internet with fast, reliable speeds and add the advanced security of Comcast Business Security Edge. It combines the speed you need with threat protection. Plus, there's 24/7 support. It's internet and advanced security made simple. So bounce forward with Comcast Business. Get started with a powerful internet and voice solution for just $64.90 a month and ask how to add Comcast Business Security Edge.